It's Friday, everyone. What do we do on Fridays here at the Hint Hive? That's right, we smash the patriarchy. Hey there, beautiful rebels. Welcome back to the Hint Hive, amplifying women's voices. I'm your host, Kelly Hint, Queen Bee of this hive, your feminist life coach and psychotherapist, here to dismantle society's nonsense and empower you to live life on your terms. Today's episode, we are flipping the script on aging. That's right, we're talking wrinkles, wisdom, and unapologetic power. Because aging isn't something to hide from. It's something to own. We're not shrinking, apologizing, or fading into the background. We are stepping into a version of ourselves that is fierce, free, and fully alive. Ladies, before we begin, I just need to tell you, I forced myself to have a fabulous morning this morning. Usually, I'm so focused on being productive that I struggle to enjoy the moment. I've been going through some stuff lately, so I've struggled a lot with being mindful and enjoying these small pockets of joy that I experience. And this morning, I wasn't having any more of my nonsense. I got up, was out in the chicken coop cleaning and cuddling with the cranky cluckers before 7:30 a.m., came in and began being productive and doing work. And then I took a second to check in with myself, and I realized I was freaking starving. And then instead of mindlessly grabbing something and getting back to work, I decided to make myself a cappuccino with my mocha pot and cook a beautiful breakfast for myself, by myself. And ladies, I enjoyed the hell out of it. And now here I am, refreshed and energized, ready to kick the patriarchy right in the teeth. Ah, sounds good, doesn't it? Join me, won't you? So today we're talking about redefining aging. And I got the idea, or I was inspired for this when I was recording last week's episode about how capitalism really preys on our insecurities as women, right? And I got thinking about the aging process. And this is one of the places where capitalism thrives, right? Like I talked about, the truth is the beauty industry rakes in over $60 billion every single year. And when it comes to the aging process, they convince women, the beauty industry convinces women that aging is a flaw, an error to be fixed, rather than a journey to be celebrated. And they exploit our insecurities and feed us the myth that our value is tied to how young we look. Ads push anti-wrinkle creams, injectables, hair dyes, and those damn filters, the photo filters, right? On Snapchat, on, what the hell? I'm having a moment. TikTok. Sorry, I deleted my TikTok, so I could not remember the name of the platform. All of these things, all of these products promise to erase the evidence of a life well lived, as if the passage of time is something to be hidden, rather than worn like a badge of honor. But you know what? Here's what they don't tell you. Studies from institutions like Harvard and Stanford reveal that women over 50 report higher levels of self-confidence, improved emotional regulation, and a stronger sense of purpose than at any other stage in life. This isn't random. It's the result of decades of growth and discovery. Because with age comes clarity about what truly matters. With age comes the courage to set boundaries and speak your truth. And with age comes the liberating realization that the opinions of people who profit off of your self-doubt carry zero freaking weight. Ladies, this is the era that I'm in. I am a woman over 50, and I am telling the entire world to F off because I am so sick and tired after 5 decades trying to live up to other people's standards. I'm done. For those of you who are not in your 50s yet, please listen to me. Do not wait until you're 50 freaking years old to come into your own and be who the F that you were made to be. I'm telling you, I just want to scream this. I want to shout it to the whole world. I don't know why it took me so long to get into this place of empowerment, and I want to spread it to all of you. I don't want you to wait until you are past midlife and you're looking backwards going, why did I worry about that? You know, society has long portrayed aging women as invisible, irrelevant, or past their prime, often erasing their contributions and silencing their voices. But my friends, that outdated narrative is crumbling, and we are the ones tearing it down, rewriting it line by frickin' line with the pen boldly and firmly in our hands. My generation, Generation X, let me tell you, most women go through this process, right, when they're in their 50s. And they stopped caring about societal narrative, stuff like that, and they just went about their business. My generation, oh no, we are flipping the tables. We are screaming it from the top of our lungs. We are the ones who are very vocally pushing back against this bull. It's kind of symbolic of my generation because, you know, we're the feral ones, right? There are no F's left to give, and we're done. And so instead of just keeping it to ourselves and aging happily and all this other stuff, we are screaming to the younger generations to break the cycle now. In your 20s, do it. Get confident with who the hell you are. Because ladies, you are unstoppable. You are a force to be reckoned with. You younger generations have the power to change the world. Do it. Don't wait like I did until you're in your damn 50s looking back and going, oh, I was so stupid. I can't believe that I didn't go to that event because I had gained too much weight and I was embarrassed to show my face. No. And for those of you in your 30s, in your 40s, and you're starting to invest in the wrinkle creams and, you know, the eye cream and this, that, and the other, if you want to do it, that's fine, but do it for you, not for other people, not for society's expectations. Because you know something, I have never experienced so much freedom as I have over these last few years of my life. I've had a lot of bad stuff happen. I've gone through a lot of trauma, and I just kind of broke. And now I am trying to use my trauma and my negative experiences to help other people. Actually, that's what my career is because of the trauma I experienced as a child. You know, I wanted to be the person that I needed when I was going through all that stuff. And so now that I've tackled the aging stuff, now I want to use this. I want to use all of the bad stuff in my adulthood now to give back to the younger generations. Because I have seen personally and professionally, the power of stopping the cycles. You have the power to break bad patterns. All right, I've gotten so far off of the aging topic. Apologies. But I can't help it. Sorry, guys. I just get very passionate about this when I'm trying to empower women, and I go on a bit of a tangent. So let's get back to the aging process. Let's reclaim the narrative. So how on earth do we redefine aging? Very first piece is to ditch the anti-aging mindset. Language shapes the way that we see ourselves. So let's stop calling products or routines anti-aging, because aging, it's not a battle that you're losing. It's proof that you are still here, that you are still evolving. Let's call it pro-living instead. Every wrinkle is a receipt for laughter, for tears, for lessons learned and victories won. Each line tells a chapter of your personal story, a story that only you could live and that only you can carry with such unapologetic grace. There's no shame in that. I can tell you, after I had my first child and I looked down and I saw the stretch marks, I was in my 20s when I had my first child. And when I saw that, I was horrified. I didn't think that my husband would want to be with me anymore. My body was scarred. It was ugly. It was disgusting. My stomach felt like bread dough. This was like right after I gave birth. And I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'll say it anyway. For those who may be contemplating having children, I want to spare you from this horrible mindset that I had. I allowed my physical appearance to affect my relationship with my husband. I didn't want him to see me naked because my body in my mind was so ugly. Because, apparently your body just doesn't snap back to its original shape 5 hours after you've delivered a baby. I mean, that was the ridiculous mindset that I had. And so all the way back then, I interfered with my own happiness. I interfered with my own sexual satisfaction because I was so embarrassed about what my body looked like after I gave birth. And that just set the stage for all of the rest of it, right? It set the stage for me being embarrassed about what I looked like as I aged and as I went through different things in my life. And then I started getting tumors in my body, and I started having multiple operations to remove tumors and cysts in my arms, my legs. It was great. And so now I have scars from surgeries. One scar that I have on my right bicep is particularly disgusting. It looks horrible, right? Well, to my younger version of myself, it looks horrible. But now, here I am in my 50s. I stand naked, look in the mirror, and you know what? My body tells a story. It's not ugly. It is freaking battle worn. I've been through a lot, and my body tells that story. And I don't have shame anymore. I used to not want to wear tank tops or short sleeves where the scar on my arm was visible. Because guess what? I've seen you ladies looking at it. I have seen people look at the horrific, disgusting scar, right? Again, that's my old narrative. I've seen people taking account of that scar on my arm. And if you look at it in a normal angle, it basically just looks like I have like flappy, blubbery skin there because it's so disfigured. And so that it embarrassed me. But now, today, I look at it, I'm like, damn girl, look what you've survived. Look at everything you have gone through, and you're still here, you're still kicking, you're still fighting, even though your body's trying to kill itself on a daily basis, because you know that's what lupus is, basically. And I don't look at my scars as disgusting anymore. I don't look at that blob on my arm as something to be embarrassed about. And you know what? You know how like kids are brutally honest and they will just ask the embarrassing questions? If a little kid pointed to my scar and said, "Ew, what's that?" I would happily tell them what it is, and I would not be embarrassed by it. 30-year-old me would have been humiliated. That's why I hid it. I don't hide it anymore. I'm not ashamed of it anymore. And again, ladies, please don't wait until you're in your 50s and you've gone through a lifetime of BS to start redefining societal norms. Stop comparing yourselves to others, especially, please, for the love of Bob, please do not compare yourself to incredibly wealthy influencers, whether they are celebrities or whatever, who have all the money in the world to cover up their journey on their body. Because most of us can't drop millions on this, quote, anti-aging stuff. Accept it. It's okay. It's all a part of who we are. And so getting back to redefining aging, we need to reframe beauty standards. The mainstream media has sold us the illusion that beauty peaks at 25 and then fades like an old photograph. But ladies, that is a lie that we need to be done buying. Real beauty is confidence radiating from within. That magnetic energy of knowing who you are and owning it. It's vitality. It's wisdom etched into your smile lines. It's the way a woman's eyes light up when she is telling her truth, the unapologetic way she takes up space, and the electric presence of someone who has lived and learned and is still daring to shine. You know what? It's about damn time that each and every one of you listening step into your authority. Because aging, it means you've earned not just wisdom, but the right to take up space and speak with unapologetic conviction. My silver foxes out there, do not shrink yourselves anymore. You have spent too many decades doing that. Stop it. It means those beautiful, glistening silver strands in your hair. It means that you've weathered heartbreaks, conquered challenges, celebrated milestones, and risen from setbacks with grit and grace. Younger women may bring energy, but my older ladies, you bring depth discernment, and the kind of experience that can move mountains. And that, sisters, is what makes you powerful beyond measure. Now, I'm going to take it a step further. Can you imagine if younger women and older women alike combine their powers? They combine the energy of youth in the wisdom of age? Holy hell, we would be an unstoppable force, wouldn't we? So for my 50 and above sisters, come on, let's not just mentor the younger generations, let's partner with them. We are at a time in society when women are incredibly vulnerable. We all need to work together, young and old alike. Start appreciating each other for the beauty that we bring to the table, for the fire that we bring to the table. Younger ladies, your older sisters, we are full of spit and vinegar. That may be just a saying from my times. So we're full of it. Again, 0 F's left to give. So you take your energy and you bring it to one of your older sisters, and that spark, that fire will be lit, and think of what the two of you can do together. And along that line, let's talk about what we can do at any age to start fighting back against this ridiculous, quote, decline in women's usefulness in society. Whether you're young or old, let's talk about some mirror talk. Every morning, stand in front of your mirror and say one thing you love about your evolving self. Not your appearance, but your strength, courage, humor, kindness, resilience, or overall badassery. Because let me tell you, over time, this simple ritual actually rewires your brain to see your value beyond what society has conditioned you to notice. And if you start doing this when you're younger, oh my goodness, by the time you get to be of the silver fox age, you will be an unstoppable force. And then the next thing we've got to do, all of us, curate your feed, right? Social media is either a trap of comparison or a source of empowerment. So all of you listening, audit your feeds and unfollow any accounts that glorify youth as the only form of beauty. Replace them with women who radiate confidence and purpose at every stage. Icons like Viola Davis, Angela Bassett, or trailblazing entrepreneurs who launched their best chapters after 50. Fill your daily scroll with inspiration, not pressure. And again, this one is for all of us. We need to challenge ageist language. The words that we use matter more than we realize. Instead of joking about being too old for this, shift to empowering statements like, I have the wisdom for this, or it's never too late for me. Language is the foundation of mindset, and mindset drives behavior. And I will tell you, this is something that I myself struggle with. I am queen of self-deprecating humor. And it used to be a defense mechanism, and now it's habit. I cannot tell you how many times I've been like, oh yeah, I'm too old for this, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? I don't believe it. So why the hell do I say it? Well, because I have a lifelong pattern of using humor as a defense mechanism. And if I can trash myself first, it doesn't matter when someone else trashes me. They don't hurt as much, right? That's the pattern that I had throughout my entire life. I will make fun of myself first. That way it won't hurt when other people do it. Lies. All lies that I told myself, because guess what? It did hurt when other people did it. But these are the things we've got to change that mindset. And then here's another thing. Try something bold. So, and again, this can be for any age, because even though I'm kind of tailoring this to redefining the aging process, again, if you do it when you are younger, it will prepare you to better handle the aging process when you're older. So, write down 3 things that you have secretly wanted to do, but thought that age was a barrier, whether you thought you were too young or too old. So whether it's learning a new language, training for a marathon, starting a podcast of your own, whatever it is, pick one of those 3 things and take the first step. How about this week? Because small actions break down big mental blocks and prove that your dreams are still alive and waiting for you. And then my final step here, my final piece of advice, build an aging positive circle. Surround yourself with people who celebrate growth at every stage. And if you're younger, seek mentors who are thriving in their 50s, 60s, or 70s. Hell, ladies in your 50s, find someone in their 60s or 70s. Find a mentor and then be that mentor to someone else, because community fuels confidence. That hive mindset. Together, we can do anything. And you know what? Here's a fun fact. According to research in positive psychology, people who embrace aging with a sense of purpose and optimism live up to 7.5 years longer than those who view it negatively. Why? Because your mindset impacts stress levels, hormones, and even your immune system. So when you see aging as an opportunity rather than a decline, your body responds by thriving, not just surviving. That is the science of aging powerfully. Let's put that into action. All right, my gals. Time for quote of the week. So this one comes from the powerhouse Maya Angelou. And she says, "Do not complain about growing old. It is a privilege denied to many." So let that sink in, not just as words, but as a challenge to celebrate every single day that you get to wake up and keep becoming. Because ladies, as long as you have breath, your journey is not done. Your duty to be the best version of yourself for yourself and as inspiration to others is not over. Hell, your inspiration, your legacy may not even be over with your last dying breath. All right, Hive, here is your challenge for the week. Choose one thing that you've been avoiding because you thought you were too old or maybe even too young, and go do it. Whether it's signing up for dance lessons, wearing bold lipstick, starting a new business, having a certain haircut, the way you dress, prove to yourself that age isn't a limitation. It is an advantage. And, as always, if today's episode sparked something in you, share it with a friend who needs this reminder. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and join our Facebook community where we keep these bold conversations going. And if you're having a hard time with anything that I've talked about today, do not be afraid to reach out to me. I am here for you. Until next time, Hive, embrace those wrinkles, celebrate your wisdom, and claim your power. Because queens, you have earned it. This podcast is powered by Kelly Hint Empowerment Coaching, as well as Kelly M. Hint LMHC and The Cranky Counselor. To find out more about coaching services, head over to CoachKellyHint.com. If you'd like to know more about the psychotherapy services I offer to individuals within the state of New York, you can check out KellyMHint.com. And if you'd like to learn more about aromatherapy, you can check out TheCrankyCounselor.com.